A person who professes unbelief is not being hypocritical at that point. It's the professing believer who says he's a disciple but isn't, who says he loves the Lord but he isn't, who says he's going to serve but he isn't. That's what this evil servant is, right? This evil servant is put in charge of his Lord's stuff. He's just like the good servant in that sense. He's letting on that he'll be a good steward. You can entrust your stuff with me, Lord. Master, you go on your trip. I'll take care of your stuff. But he's lying. He's not going to treat the master's stuff like it's the master's. He's going to abuse it for his own good. That's immediately what he does. In verse 49, he begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunkards. As soon as he sees the master isn't coming, why, the authority he's been given, he's going to use for himself. He's going to beat those servants when they don't do what he wants them to do. Those servants are going to become his servants. They're his master's servants. He's supposed to feed them. No. He's going to abuse them, and they're going to serve him. And all of the master's goods, all of the food, all of the drink, all the master has stored up for the master's purposes, he's going to begin to feast on it and get drunk on it because he's all about himself, you see. And ultimately, there really is only two people to serve, two beings. We either serve God or we serve ourselves. Every person in a false religion is serving themselves because that God doesn't exist, and they're serving him for some kind of benefit they get out of it in this temporal life, even if it's the hope of another life through their false worship. But this evil servant is revealing who he is by the delay, by the fact that he is going to abuse and misuse, really to steal his master's possessions. And it all begins in the heart. Do you see that in verse 48? But if that evil servant says in his heart, you see, that's where we really live and move. We can't, hypocrites hide their hearts. They let on that they're one thing, but in the heart they're something else. But see, God sees the heart. God sees that person when he says in his heart, my master is delayed. Now I have a chance to get all that I want. To quote Sammy Hagar again, to have the best of both worlds. My master thinks I'm his servant. I act like I'm his servant when I'm around him. But now he's gone. Now I'm going to do what I really want to do. Do you see where the servant's real heart is? It's not with being his master's servant. It's having the master's stuff for himself. Because as soon as he can, he does it. And I have to say to you, beloved, this was me. This is where I lived and moved and had my being, so to speak, before I became a Christian.